In a warm and bustling village nestled between golden fields and tall mango trees, there lived. Welcome to Moonlight Narratives. Kindly subscribe to support us. A girl named Sola. She had bright eyes, a quick smile, and a voice as sweet as ripe fruit. Everyone in the village knew Sola. Her mother was a kind seamstress who worked from dawn to dusk stitching clothes for the villagers, and her father was a gentle farmer who never came home without a song on his lips. They loved Sola with everything they had. But Sola had a habit that nobody could quite explain. No matter what anyone did for her, no matter how big or small the gesture, Sola never said thank you. When her mother braided her hair each morning before school, Sola would jump up from the stool and run out the door without a single word. When her father saved the last mango from his lunch just to put it in her bag, she would grab it and walk away without looking back. When her neighbor Mama Ebi baked sweet groundnut cakes and sent a plate over just for Sola, the girl would collect the plate, turn around, and close the door behind her. The villagers noticed. They whispered about it softly, the way kind people do when they do not want to shame someone. She is still young, some said. Her parents will teach her, said others. But the months rolled by and nothing changed. Sola simply moved through her days collecting kindness like it was owed to her, as if the world existed only to fill her hands. Her closest friend was a girl named Beezy. Beezy was quiet and loyal, the kind of friend who would walk across the whole village just to bring you a cup of water when you were sick. Beezy shared her lunch with Sola on days Sola forgot hers. She waited outside Sola's house every morning so they could walk to school together. She helped Sola carry her books when her bag was heavy, and she always kept Sola's secrets tucked safely inside her heart. Sola never once said thank you to Beezy either. One dry season morning, Sola woke up feeling unwell. Her head throbbed and her legs felt like heavy stones. Her mother made her a warm bowl of pepper soup, fanned her until the fever broke, and stayed up through the night pressing a cool cloth to her forehead. By morning, Sola was well enough to sit up. Her mother smiled with relief and kissed her on the head. Sola said nothing. She simply asked for more soup. Her mother went quietly back to the kitchen, her smile dimming just a little. Days passed and Sola recovered. Life in the village continued as it always did. But something had shifted, quietly, like the way a river changes course without anyone noticing at first. Mama Ebi stopped sending over plates of groundnut cake. She still baked them, she still gave them to other children on the street, but she no longer knocked on Sola's door. Her father still packed mangoes in his bag each day, but he began eating them himself on the walk home, telling himself he needed the energy. Beezy still walked to school, but she began leaving a few minutes earlier, arriving before Sola, slipping into her seat without waiting. Sola did not notice any of it. Not at first. Then one afternoon, the village announced a harvest celebration. There would be music, dancing, food, and games in the open square. Every child in the village was buzzing with excitement. Sola decided she would wear her best dress, the yellow one with the embroidered hem that her mother had spent 3 evenings stitching by lamplight as a birthday gift. But when Sola opened her box, the dress was wrinkled and stained from the last time she had worn it and dropped it carelessly on the muddy floor. She had never thanked her mother for making it. She had never handled it with care. She ran to her mother. "Fix my dress. The celebration is today and it is ruined." Her mother looked at the crumpled dress quietly. "I have orders to finish by this evening, Sola. I do not have time today." Sola's mouth fell open. Her mother had never said no before. She ran to Beezy's house next. "Beezy, lend me your blue dress for the celebration." Mine is ruined. Beezy stood at the door for a moment. Her expression was not angry. It was simply tired. I am sorry, Sola, she said softly. I already promised it to my cousin. She paused. Also, I have been thinking. You have never once thanked me for anything I have done for you. Not once. I do not think you have even noticed. Sola opened her mouth but no words came out. She walked to the celebration alone, wearing her old everyday dress. All around her, children laughed and danced and sat together sharing food. She looked for familiar faces but found only pairs and groups, people who had found each other. She stood at the edge of the square, holding a cup of juice she had poured herself, and for the first time in her life, Sola felt the sharp sting of being truly alone. She sat down under a neem tree and watched the celebration from a distance. An old woman came and sat beside her. She had a calm face and slow, careful movements. She looked at Sola for a long moment and then said, "You look like someone who has lost something." "I did not lose anything," Sola muttered. "Nobody wanted to help me today." The old woman nodded slowly. "Tell me. When people helped you before, what did you give them in return?" Sola shrugged. "Nothing. Why should I? They chose to help me." The old woman was quiet for a while. Then she said, "A thank you is not payment, my child. It is a light. When you thank someone, you let them know that their kindness landed somewhere warm. Without that light, even the most generous heart grows cold." She looked out at the square. People do not stop giving because they are selfish. They stop because they feel invisible. Sola said nothing. But something inside her chest cracked open, just a little. She thought about her mother staying up through the night, pressing a cloth to her head. She thought about her father saving the last mango. She thought about Beezy waiting outside her door every single morning, rain or shine, asking nothing in return. She thought about Mama Ebi's groundnut cakes and the warmth that always came with them. And she had never once said thank you. Tears slipped down her cheeks quietly, the way rain begins before you realize a storm has arrived. That evening, Sola went home and found her mother still bent over her sewing by lamplight. She stood at the doorway for a moment, watching her. Then she walked over, sat beside her, and rested her head gently on her mother's shoulder. "Mama," she whispered. "Thank you. For everything. For every single thing I never said thank you for." Her mother's hand stilled. She turned and looked at Sola, and her eyes filled with something soft and shining. She pulled her daughter close and held her tightly without saying a word. The next morning, Sola woke up early. She went to Beezy's house and knocked on the door before Beezy could leave. When Beezy opened it, Sola looked at her steadily and said, "Thank you, Beezy. For the lunches. For waiting for me. For carrying my books. For being my friend when I gave you nothing back. I am sorry it took me so long." Beezy stared at her. Then she smiled, slow and warm, like sunlight returning after rain. "Come on," she said. "We will be late for school." They walked together that morning, side by side, just as they always had. But something between them felt lighter, fuller, and more real than it had ever been before. From that day forward, Sola learned that gratitude is not a small thing. It is the thread that holds people together. And a life lived without it, no matter how full it looks, is quietly, slowly, coming apart at the seams.